Every day, homeowners suffer due to extreme cold and heat. All this suffering and pain leaves them confused, scared, and even unhappy in their own homes. A home is a place where you are supposed to feel safe and comfortable, a place of solitude and happiness. All these problems are caused by lack of or poor installation of insulation. Every home should have insulation. It is one of the most important products a house can have. Insulation's main role is to maintain a desired temperature inside your home by keeping the warm air in and the cold air out, or vice versa depending on the season. Good insulation also increases a home's energy efficiency, which not only saves you money, but also saves the environment. Every winter we crank up our heaters to stay warm, but all that lost heat due to poor insulation travels outside is now increasing the temperature of the environment around us, assisting in global warming, which makes the polar bears very sad. When properly installed, insulation can save a homeowner 10 to 50% a year on their heating and cooling bill. Choosing the right insulation and properly installing it not only makes your wallet happier, but your home happier as well. And definitely the polar bears appreciate it too.
Installing the right kind of insulation is very important for every structure. In this video, we will define and explain 4 common types of insulation so that you and your family can live comfortably in any climate. To start, I'm going to introduce you to our team of experts. Joe Lang, Julia Kurt, David Emmert, and Brandon Martin. Now Julia's going to tell us all about denim insulation.
So today I'm going to talk to you about denim insulation. Denim insulation is made from old blue jeans that are no longer needed from retailers, or they're from the scraps from the mills. And what they do and how they make them is they shred them and then they're soaked in a boric acid, which makes them flame retardant and insect, pest, and there are many advantages and disadvantages to denim insulation. One of the biggest advantages is that it's great for the environment, being that it's made out of all recycled materials. Also, it's great for the environment because there's no added harmful chemicals to the insulation at all. However, one of the biggest disadvantages is that it costs 2 to 3 times as much as traditional fiberglass insulation, but still has almost the same R value. Another disadvantage is that when shipping denim insulation in bats, the denim has to be rolled, which causes air to get pushed into the bat, and when you try to put it into the wall, it doesn't stay. Overall, there are many advantages and disadvantages to denim insulation, but the trade-offs are this: either you want the most out of your money or you want to help the environment.
Now, let's hear about Rockwool insulation from David.
Rockwool insulation, also known as mineral wool insulation, is very similar to fiberglass insulation in that it's installed in bats in between your joists and your walls. The difference is that Rockwool insulation is made from rocks that have been melted and then spun into fiber strands, and these strands are what are condensed into the bats. It has a very high R value, is very fire resistant, and is also mold resistant. The downside, however, is that for about the same R value, it costs approximately twice as much as fiberglass insulation. However, today I'm going to splurge and I'm going to install Rockwool insulation into this house to make it better. So without further ado, let's go outside and get some rocks for our Rockwool insulation. This rock should do. Now that we have our rock, we just Put it in a pot. And we're going to let that sit at about 2200 degrees for a good long time, and we'll be right back. As you can see, our rock has finally started to melt into some good fibrous strands that we can condense into a bat later. Now that there's rock wool insulation installed in my home, I can sit here nice and comfy, eat my spaghetti without my jacket on. Well, the comfort only lasted so long. Rock wool was so expensive that it drove me out of my home. Now I'm living out of my backpack on the streets. I would never do rock wool again.
Next, we're going to learn all about spray foam insulation from Brandon.
So many people ask, what is spray foam insulation? Well, spray foam insulation can simply be described as a polyurethane plastic material that is made of mainly petroleum products or recycled petroleum products. When it comes to the application of spray foam insulation, it will normally be sprayed out of either a spray system or a spray can as a liquid. As you let it sit and rest for a couple seconds, it will start to expand, and after half a day, it can expand up to 120 times its size depending on what spray you're using, and that can be sprayed into cracks, crevices, walls, floor systems, anywhere you need it to be sprayed. When it comes to spray foam insulation, it commonly has an R value that ranges to about 6.5 per inch, meaning that is a very tight seal, and this is why spray foam insulation can be known as an approved air sealant, meaning air from the outside or inside will not pass through. This allows for the home to be much more comfortable and to have less bacteria and other things from the outside air coming into contact with the inside. When it comes to spray foam insulation, there are a couple cons, the biggest being cost. Although not crazy expensive, spray foam insulation has a kind of an added upfront cost due to you need special equipment to install it. And by that I mean you usually need the can gun to spray the spray foam, or you actually have to buy a whole unit, which can range to about $300 to $400 per unit if you wanted to buy it at, let's say, a Home Depot or a Lowe's.
Cellulose is the oldest form of home insulation. It is a loose-fill insulation made from 80% recycled paper, consisting primarily of newspaper, but also including some cardboard and other appropriate papers. It is chemically treated with non-toxic borate compounds to resist fire, insects, and mold. There are two types of cellulose: wet-blown cellulose, which is applied in a range of densities, typically between 3 and 4 pounds per cubic foot. It is installed with a wet adhesive or water because cellulose can't settle unless it is fixed with an adhesive or applied while wet. There's also dry-blown or dense-packed cellulose. It is used for installation at higher densities. Above 3.6 pounds per cubic foot are blown in dry into a closed stud cavity. Cellulose can be used in new or existing homes, but it is used in fewer than 10% of homes today. There are several advantages to cellulose insulation. First and foremost, cellulose is by far the most green and environmentally friendly insulation on the market. Also, cellulose is likely the lowest cost insulation material and is widely available from your local hardware stores and directly from distributors. It will cost you anywhere from 50 to 75 cents per square foot, but there will be additional installation cost. If the cellulose is treated with an acrylic binder, it will be very durable. It will not settle after installation, and the R value will not decrease over time. The R value of cellulose is the highest of the loose-fill type of insulation products, compared to fiberglass, rock wool, or cotton. There are also some disadvantages of using cellulose insulation, which make it inferior to spray foam insulation. Although cellulose is the least expensive insulation material to purchase, it does not make for a good do-it-yourself application. Professional installation equipment is necessary for the blown-in application, and certified breathing masks are needed due to the high dust during application. Professional installation requirements will drive up the total cost of the project. Additionally, dry-blown cellulose may sag and settle over time, reducing the R value and increasing monthly utility costs due to the reduced insulation effect. Cellulose insulation also absorbs moisture, easily reducing its effectiveness and causing mold and rot. Even though cellulose is treated with boric acid to resist fire and reduce mold, there are some concerns that boric acid will wear off over time, causing a potential fire hazard. Finally, even though the R value for cellulose is higher than other loose-fill type insulations, it does not compare to the R value and long-term durability of spray foam applications.
You know all about different types of insulation. We decided to take a trip to Menards to scope out what we found to be the best kind of insulation. Spray foam!
Wall and floor, window and door, and cracks. But don't do cracks.
Perfect, actually.
So when it comes to insulating your home, take this little shelter we found here at Menards. Similar concept of construction techniques. You take your trusses up here. You have your two studs, about a little less than 16 inches off center. Doesn't really matter, it's a model. What you'll do with your spray foam is you'll take the gun, you will spray it within the studs. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seals within the insulation. When it comes to rock wool and all that, it's no guarantee. The spray foam, as Mark was talking about in class today, you had the, what they call overhangs that come from the ceiling. You can't really seal those with the loose fill, or the
Mats?
the
Not mats, bats.
The bat.
So bats, not mats.
The bat insulation, because it's hard to get a closure on there. Well, with the spray foam, you're gonna be sitting there all over, sprayed all above. Put your little thing of cardboard on there. That's your pieces of closure. Not only are you guaranteed to have a fill with the spray foam as long as you install it properly, you have every crack and crevice sealed. There's not a guarantee that can be given to you with an already existing solid object. As soft as the fiberglass, denim, cellulose, anything you want to talk about is, it's not going to just conform to the area that you're spraying like spray foam will.
Now it's time to insulate.
Spray foam.
For pros.